Hello everyone and welcome back to another tutorial. Today we will be making a Mr. Game & Watch plush. This is going to be a special tutorial as it has no sewing required. You can just use hot glue for this one. Now, let's get into the materials.
The materials you will need are black fabric. You could use fleece, but felt would be preferred for this one. And the Game & Watch pattern, which should be available on my Pinterest. Link should be in the description. So, let's get started. One more thing I forgot to mention for materials is that you will also need stuffing. Not a lot, but you will need some. Now for the head, you may see that there is a dotted half circle here. That would be the mouth. If you want your plushie to have a mouth, then you can give him a mouth by cutting out the dotted line segment. But if you just want his mouth to be closed and just a flat black circle, then that is perfectly fine as well. Once you cut out 2 pieces of your head, you want to hot glue from about right here, just above the mouth a little bit, and go all the way around, but leave space because we need to lightly stuff it to where it isn't completely floppy but still retains its flat-like nature. Once all glued up and stuffed, it will look like this, and this is what I mean by lightly stuffing it to where it's not completely flat, but it won't be floppy either, but it would still be considerably flat. And another thing is, if your hole to stuff it is too small, then I recommend using something like a chopstick or a pencil in order to help stuff it, since it will be a lot easier. Now for the nose. For the nose, just glue up all the sides around here, and then you want to stuff it just a little bit into the hole where you stuffed the head, and then glue them together. You are not going to be stuffing the nose, as that will be flat. Once glued together, you have a completed Game & Watch head. But Game & Watch can't just be a head. We need to make his body first. So let's do that. For the body, you want to glue all the way around here up till about the top. Then you will lightly stuff it. Once it is stuffed, it will look like this. Once again, lightly stuff it, not all the way, but just enough to make sure that it is flat. Then you want to glue this piece to the head. And with that, now you have the head and body done. So we can now move on to the limbs. You're going to need 2 arms, and while the pattern may say 4, there is a little trick. You can just fold it on this, you can fold the fabric on this long side to where you could just fold it and just glue them together so that it'll save time and you can only just cut out 2 pieces. And this is what I mean by folding it just along itself and gluing it together, and then you just have the arm. So yeah, it saves you time. You only need 2 pieces instead of the 4 pieces that it says on the pattern. So just a little trick for you there. And when I say glue them together, I mean glue them completely together to where when it dries, it will be stiff, because we will not be able to fit any light stuffing or anything in there. So just glue it all together. For the hands, you will need to cut out 4 circles and glue them all together. Not around, but just completely all together, similar to the arms. And once you have done that, you just glue the arms to the hands. Now I'm going to move on to the legs and feet and set the arms aside, but if you want to, you can glue the arms on already. You just have to glue them on to where the top end aligns with where the seam of the neck connecting to the head would be. So just about roughly right there. Anyway, let's move on to the legs. Now for the legs, you will need 4 pieces. Unfortunately, we can't do the same trick we did with the arms, so you will need to cut out 4 pieces. But very similarly to the arms, you just want to securely glue them all together to where when they dry, they will be stiff. Once again, similarly to the hands, you will need to cut out 4 pieces of the feet and completely glue them together to where they will be stiff when they dry. However, you want to leave a space because we will be putting the leg inside so that it is better secure. Once you have glued the legs onto the feet, you want to glue them to the bottom portion of the body to roughly to where it lines up to your liking. And once you do that, your Game & Watch plush is officially finished.
Thanks for watching this tutorial, and sorry that it took a long time for it to come out. I just had some real life stuff going on, but I'm glad I finally did it and kept the promise that I made to all of you. If you have any more tutorial requests, just leave them in the comments below, and if I see them, I may just consider making them. And I believe that is all I have left to say, so thanks for watching, and bye.